Welcome back to No MRSA, No Problem. In today's episode, we're going to continue our exploration on MRSA, obviously, a superbug that is fascinating as it is formable. This time we're going to talk about how it spreads. Understanding transmission is the key to preventing this, and this time we're going to focus on how MRSA spreads, because that what ultimately helps us prevent it. Like, we can, wash your hands and everything, but understanding how this spreads so easily is going to be our key to understanding. Let's talk about human-to-human transmission, which is probably the most common that we would be concerned about in human health, at least. It's the most common way that it spreads, and it typically happens through direct skin-to-skin contact.
Or surface to person.
And the reason, you can get cut while playing sports, and next thing you know,
it's a master at hitchhiking. For sure.
Yeah, and just can you imagine you get cut and then you go back to a sweaty locker room?
Oh gosh.
It is a field day for MRSA.
Athletes and healthcare workers, anyone close contact to environments are definitely higher up on the scale for risk. Especially if you have an open cut or scrape. MRSA sees that as an open door.
Yeah, it is you're just giving it like a written invitation to come inside.
Welcome in. Welcome to our dinner party. Fun fact.
So let's talk more about healthcare associated transmission, because this is very common, actually.
Okay, yeah.
It's probably the second most common besides direct skin-to-skin contact between humans, but it's kind of a bigger problem because everybody is already in a healthcare setting.
Oh yeah, hospitals and nursing homes, right? Hotspots.
Yeah, totally immunocompromised already, and then you just have this. And MRSA's like, hi there, I am now going to be your entire life.
Oh. Because the gift that just keeps on giving and giving and giving, even when you don't want it to.
It's like, as much as I know in healthcare, we're always like, well, wash your hands, make sure you gel, do both. And I don't know if you know this, but when doctors do surgery, they'll do a thing called double gloving.
Mm-hmm.
They'll use a colored glove, well, whatever, and then a clear glove on top. So when they can,
if it pokes through.
So if it pokes through, they can see that one barrier has already been broken.
Double gloving sounds like me during COVID.
And so, can you imagine how bad this was before we had these practices?
Oh yeah, this definitely makes them prime targets for MRSA infections.
Because just think about it. It would be as simple as a doctor tweeting a MRSA wound.
Yeah.
They could have the gloves on, but not and take off the gloves, but if that had gone anywhere else on their skin and they did not wash.
Also, MRSA can linger on stethoscopes and blood pressure cuffs and hospital beds and the floors of patient rooms, which is why it's so important for these surfaces to be disinfected regularly so that they're not reservoirs of bacteria, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
really
just
disgusting. It definitely makes me rethink hospitals.
It's totally scary because think about it. You're already sick. You're already immunocompromised. You're already fighting something. And then if you get MRSA, your body's fighting in a totally different battle as well.
Oh, yeah.
And guess what? It's one of the most annoying bacteria.
Well, I mean, like before, it's the gift that keeps on giving. I mean, imagine contracting it and then you think you're good and, a couple years later you have a flare-up and then what? You're same situation all over again.
It truly is terrifying. And that's why, whenever patients would come by to get their scripts for MRSA, and they would be like, oh, it's just an infection. Why am I getting 3 antibiotics?
So many things. It's just a scrape. It's more than a scrape.
I'm like, you'll thank us later.
MRSA has no mercy. The good news is, though, that hospitals and healthcare facilities have super strict infection control measures to
Yeah.
combat MRSA. Um, Hand hygiene, contact precaution, disinfection, high touch surfaces that uh, are shared and equipment that's regularly used or cleaned with crazy powerful disinfectants, which I love that.
Yeah, there's actually one disinfectant. I cannot remember the name, but it literally kills
Everything.
everything. And
I
I
need that
remember using
on
it
my
so
person.
often, um, when I was making IVs, because I was like, those has to be sterile. That's going
Oh
directly
yeah.
into that person's bloodstream.
Hmm.
So it was like you do that. And even if you were going from one medicine to another huge deep clean in between.
Oh yeah. 1,000,000%.
Now let's talk about schools.
Mm.
Or just think about your gym.
Oh, the castle of germs.
Yeah, it's so easy for it to be community associated. Like, you could just,
It's everywhere. It's on
yeah,
everything at all times. I bet there's MRSA or staff somewhere in this room.
well, I can guarantee it. If, if you do not
I
know,
did just clench up a
we
chair.
are in a study room on campus, and because it is finals, they're going to use coffee cups
There are indeed.
and just stuff left everywhere. So I can guarantee this. It might not have MRSA, but there are a ton of germs in here right now.
Oh gosh. Love that. Love that image we just painted for ourselves.
I know, right?
Mm. Um,
But just make sure you disinfect everything.
oh yeah, because MRSA can survive on surfaces for weeks or even months. I was reading a study the other day that says that MRSA has been found on everything. Bed rails, IV poles, floors in operating rooms, schools like we mentioned, the gym. So cleaning plays a crucial role in keeping this superbug under control because you can't really eradicate it completely, but killing it before somebody else brings it in is helpful.
And let's talk about, say you're on a bus and there's that one guy just hacking
Oh
away, and
gosh,
you're ready to discuss. So guess what? Stay away, because
stay away.
pneumonia, as we mentioned earlier, is one of the ways that it can actually be spread by droplet, which is very rare, but it does happen.
So foul.
It's just another way to stay away from that guy hacking at the back of the bus.
Yeah. Bring a mask. Maybe we should bring masks back. Slap on a little COVID mask. Double glove.
Yeah, but practical wise, let's
There's
just
probably staff on your gloves already.
disinfect everything. Use hand sanitizer
Okay.
with at least 60%
Yeah.
cleanliness. Yeah. And when you get wounds, keep them clean and covered.
Oh yeah. Clean them off right away. Disinfect. Bandage it up. Sometimes though it is unavoidable. I mean, I fell in, we cleaned right away, but then that's the crazy thing about MRSA is it takes either 24 hours to 7 days to appear, which is so scary because you could just be walking around filled with MRSA and not even know and wake up the next day and have a little volcano knee like I did.
And if you work in healthcare, like I do, I know it's annoying to wash your hands every 2 seconds, but let's do that.
Yeah. So risk the chapped hands for some clean hands.
But that is it for today.
I feel like we did pretty good. I feel like we scared them enough, educated them.
We definitely got that fear in there.
Maybe we'll start some merch. We'll start selling some double-sided gloves. The MRSA merch. Well, thanks for tuning in and letting us terrify you and educate you a little bit more on MRSA's No Mercy policy. I'm Bella.
And I'm Megan.
Thanks for listening.